Hello, party people. Hello, it's Randy for Thunderhorse Descendant. Hello, how are you? I feel like I haven't seen you guys in forever. That might not be true. Anyways, so what do we got cooking today? Today we are working on more Foxy Lady projects from Softflex. So Softflex had sent over the Foxy Lady, and we worked on project 1. And we completed the Foxy Lady necklace. So now we're on to project number 2, which is a bracelet. In essence, it's kind of a play off of one of our bracelets that we've done in the past. It is a knotted bracelet with charms that hang on. I'm trying to think of what we called them originally, and for some reason I can't remember. A manifestation bracelet. That's what it is. So it's like a manifestation bracelet, but with just like a little less charms. I don't actually remember what all is in this bracelet because, you know, things and stuff. Memory. But we're going to take a look at it. So I have it here. And we're just going to get cracking on it. So let's get down to the mat. Get this party started. Okay, my party peeps, here we are down on the mat. So again, this is the part of the Foxy Lady design kit that came from Softflex. If you want to give them a look-see, it is www.softflexcompany.com. My understanding is that they still have some of these kits available. Again, the name of this kit is the Foxy Lady. They also have a contest you can enter if you would like. So there's that. I'm going to get our beads arranged and try to remember what exactly it is I said we were doing. I remember struggling with this bracelet in the plan video because something about rounds and not rounds, I remember that being a thing. So I should also mention that we are here in the Thunderhorse Descendant studio. This is a live active studio. My wonderful, spectacular, amazing assistant Shannon is here doing all the shipping of your custom orders and your bead supply orders and your handmade jewelry orders. So if you hear any commotion, we got that going on. We also got pets. They're crazy. All right. This is what we got. Excuse me. So looks like, oh yes, this is what we were doing. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up this way. And we're going to look at the amount of length that we're going to need here for this. Actually going to go boom, 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 boom. We have this, which I added from my stash. And then we have all of these little spacers. So for the time being, I'm just going to keep it like so. And I might put in one of these. We have 2 of them. I don't know if we'll even need that much. So here's something to note. These are going to be all of our dangles and our charms, so I'm not worried about that. Something to note when you're doing a knotted bracelet project is that you are going to get length with your knotting. So I don't know that we will need all of these beads. Honestly, I think I'm going to pull these 2 out and just go with this, because these are also going to be in there spaced, because you don't want it to be too long. However, I will show you in the end, if you do make it too long, that's fine. I'll show you how to fix that. So do we want to go brown or do we want to go orange? Let's take a look in the monitor here. I think I was right with the brown. Okay, we'll go with that. So the first thing that I'm going to do before I get anything going on is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get my little charms ready. So these are what is going to be dangling down. So I'm going to get those ready. And let's see, how do I want to do that? Are we going, well, I have a silver, it looks like I was going silver here. Okay. Okay. I got some silver head pins. I'm just going to pull those out. Do I have any smaller ones? No. Dang it. Alright. First things first, all we're going to do is going to wrap up these guys here. Now there's a couple of ways you could do this. It's completely up to you, however you want to do it. I'm just going to make it really simple. We're just going to do a wrapped loop on here. Zoom in. Just going to do a wrapped loop on here. Let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And I'm just going to wrap it. Easy peasy messy wrap, no problem. Go ahead, tuck all these things in. Now, if you were adding your own charms or something, you know, wanting to go more of a manifestation bracelet route, this is where you would be putting all of your charms or stones or whatever. We're going to use these guys. They do all match, which is kind of nice. Okay, so there's 2 of them. I'm going to finish up these other ones. Pretty simple on the wire wrap, right? Alrighty, so here are our wire wrap charms all ready to go. This fox is also going to go with them. Now I am going to be attaching these with jump rings. So you can do this during the process of your knotting, or you can do it after. It's completely up to you. I am going to be using some size 6 silver oval jump rings. These are what Thunderhorse Descendant considers to be the small jump rings that we carry on our website. So these I am going to go ahead and attach, and I think I will attach these as I knot. You know, like I said, it's completely up to you, especially if you don't know the pattern that you're going with at the particular moment, but for right now I think we should be good. So I'm just putting all of these ovals on. I like to use an oval when using a drop charm simply because of the setup of the oval. So if you're not aware, oval jump rings are one of the, in my opinion, really great to use just simply because of their setup. So because of the opening, it's set up as an oval. It's cut on the side, almost like a G. You can't see. Almost like a G or a C. Why is this thing not focusing? See that? So when you have your dangle hanging on there, or whatever you have hanging on there, it's set up in a way to work with gravity so that whatever is on there is never on the most weakest part of your link. It's on the bottom half or the other side. It's never on the weakest part of the link. Also, when using those for drops, for like drop charms, it helps them to dangle in a way where they're meant to be dangly. You know what I mean? Unlike with a round jump ring, where it just kind of goes wherever it wants, it's going to be forced to go into kind of that little cove of the oval. And so I really like that. And that's why I use them. I usually use the ovals and then the jump locks, the locking jump rings, if I have to use a circle jump ring. But I prefer to use the ovals in most cases. Now with this fox, I might put 2 on him so he hangs down a little bit, or maybe a larger one, but we shall see how he's going to fit. Yeah, I think for him I'm going to put a larger jump ring because I want him to hang down and not bump into the beads too much. So let's go with a larger oval. So I'm going to go from a 6 to an 8. And this is just to give him a little more room so his ears and tail are not bumping into everything. There we go. All right. So we got those all ready to go. Now we have to get our string ready. So I am going to be using Ceylon, and you're not really going to need that much for this. I wonder if I got a little scrap piece, just so I can get rid of it. There is a little scrap piece in there, but I don't know if it's long enough. Let me check it out. And I always keep my scraps because, you know, you can use them for these types of situations. So, yeah, I think it'll be long enough. Was this one longer? Let me see. This one's a little longer. So I am going to go ahead and just use this scrap piece of Ceylon since I have it. Now, I do have this ready to go. It already has the glue on this side to work harden the needle portion. So I don't have to worry about doing that. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do, I think what I'll do is I'm going to start out with the lobster. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to tie this on. So I'm going to kind of move this out of the way so my camera isn't focusing on it right now. Okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to tie a knot with this. I'm going to go 1, 2, 'kay. Then I'm going to go again. 1, 2. In essence, this is the same knot that we are going to do throughout this bracelet. If you feel you need to go another, by all means, but what I'm going to do is I'm now just going to do a little bit of carouseling. You guys have seen me do this a million times. It's basically a half hitch knot or just going around 1 time instead of 2 times. And this is going to fall right into where I want it to go. And it's just going to give us a little element of design with the string. Now, if you want to use findings on your string, by all means, go ahead. I don't. That's just a personal preference. I want him to carousel a little more. Got a little bitty tail, so it's making it kind of hard. Alright. It's starting to carousel. We're good to go. I'm just going to leave all that right now for just the way that it is. And now for this portion. If you don't have this already going, basically all you do is you're going to take a little shot of super glue. Now, it doesn't have to be Loctite, but you're going to take a little bit of super glue, you're going to put a little bit on there, you're going to run your needle through there like this, like at least twice. You're going to let it dry, and then you're going to get this like work hardened needle situation. It just makes it easier for you to put your beads on. Okay, and now we're going to start rocking and rolling with the beads. Easy peasy. Now I do have these little gold spacers, and I might use a few of those. They're little guys. Oh, we're not doing gold, we're doing silver. Never mind. They were just sitting here and I thought, oh, I could use those, but I guess not. So back to this. So this is kind of my setup. Okay, so I'm going to start with my first bead. Now if you've never done knotting before, what you're going to do is you're going to put your bead on there. Okay, you're going to wrap around these 3 fingers, 2 or 3 fingers, but you're going to want to come through right here between your pointer and your middle finger, and you're going to go 1, 2, bring it through twice. You're then going to get your tweezer out. You're going to go through the loop, and you're going to grab a hold of your base thread, which is this thread right here, and you're going to grab a hold of that. Now, here's the thing. You want your loop to be on the tweezer. When you remove your hand, you want it to be on the tweezer, okay? And you want to grab a hold of the base wire where you want the knot to go. So if you want the knot to go right up next against the bead, that's where you're going to grab a hold of it. You're going to grab the tail and you're just going to pull it straight up. Okay? So it's going to bring it down to a knot. You're going to remove your tweezer. You're going to go on top of the knot, put a little pressure, and push it down into place. Okay, then you can kind of push your knot back up towards that knot right there, and you're going to get it locked in. Okay, so that is our first order of business. Secondly, our second bead, now I want to put on these spacers in between. So I think what I'll do, let's see, is I'm going to go this one, a spacer, a gold bead, and a spacer. And I'm setting myself up to start putting on my charms. So now the charms, I gotta kind of look at this and say, okay, if we do that in this one and then this one, do we have enough spacers here to go down the other side, or dangly bits, which I believe we do. Okay, so however your pattern is. And then we have the fox. Now the fox I'm just basically going to attach on over here probably somewhere, or maybe to the end. He's not really going to be in the middle of everything. He's going to be kind of off to the side. I'm not sure exactly where yet. But this is our setup. So now I am going to put on, you have an option here. You could tie a knot if you want to. I think I will. You don't have to. You know what? No. Why make it more complicated? I'm going to put on the charm and then another spacer. So I'm sandwiching my charms in between these spacers that were provided to us by Softflex, so that they're going to hold that in place, and then I'm going to tie my knot. So once I have all of that on, then I'm going to tie the knot. So I'm going to go 1, 2, get my tweezer, go through the loop, grab a hold of the base wire where I want, or the base thread where I want it to be. Make sure that my loop is on the tweezer. Now you want this to be kind of tight, so you're going to want to really pull down on it. You're going to pull this straight up, remove the tweezer, pull it down. Okay? We are off to the races, people! I gotta get these other things out of my way and get tangled up. Alright. So now on this bead here. This charm. Oop, I forgot a spacer. I'm in debate if I want to put a spacer there. I don't think I do. In between here and there. Maybe I do. Do I? Let's see how it looks. So spacer, bead. Does that look okay? Because now we have 3. That actually looks kind of better. I think I like that. Oh, I'm adjusting the light situation here. Yeah. Okay, I think I do like that. So I am going to put that there, and then I'm going to put another spacer. Put on my charm, and I'm just threading on the oval jump ring, and then the spacer again, sandwiching it in between so that it doesn't move around. And then we tie our next knot. 1, 2, go through the loop, grab a hold of this base thread, pull it down. Again, wanting it to be pretty tight. Things can't move around on you. And then our next bead. So our next bead is this kind of metallic one. So I'm going to remember to put my spacer on this time. Then the metallic one. Then the spacer. Then the charm. And another spacer. All right, looks good. I'm going to go ahead and tie the knot. 2, now we basically have 3 charms for each side. So now this next portion, I'm going to start with a spacer, and this is going to be the middle of our bracelet. I'm going to put all 3 of these beads. So we have this one, this one, this one, and this one. So it's these 3. And I'm going to just put all 3 of these together, and the reason for that is I don't want to make this bracelet too big. So I want it to not be too big, but I may have to put spacers in between there. I think I will. Yeah, that should be fine. Okay, so I'm going to go spacer. But I'm not tying any knots. I'm just putting all of these on. And the spacer. Okay. So even that gave us a little more length, but that's fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and tie the knot. All right, now all we're going to do is work backwards and do this portion on this other side. So we're going to start here, right here. So we need spacer, charm, spacer, metallic bead, and a spacer. Double check that, make sure that looks good. It does, so I'm going to tie it. Okay. And then spacer, charm, spacer, frosty red bead, spacer. Looks good. Cheap. Okay, now we are here. So we need spacer, the last charm minus the fox, spacer, the metallic gold crystal bead, and a spacer, knot, and then lastly we just have this fire polish bead. Now there's an option here. So this is going to be our bracelet. Okay. So now this is going to be, once I get a clasp on here, or an ending, whatever I decide to do, this is about, so my wrist is about a 6 1/4. This bracelet right here that we have graded is going to end up being about a 6 1/2 once you put a ending on it. Okay, so if you needed to go more, you could do that in a couple of ways. You could add a multiple length to the end. You could add an extender chain by simply tying it on. You could add a lot of things. Now I am going to show, I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. So I'm going to put on this fox. Now this was not originally the plan, but I am going to add him here just for funsies. Put the fox on. I'm just again sandwiching him in between two spacers. Now this is a larger jump ring, so I'm checking to make sure it's not going to slip off in any way if I put it on there like that. It doesn't appear like it will. And I want to see if he's going to lay correctly, which it looks like he is. Not going to be bumping up too much on stuff. So that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to tie a knot here. Same as I would any other time. Okay. Make sure he's in place. He is. Now, the good thing about this is if, like, let's say you get that on there and you decide you don't like it, it's a jump ring, you can take it off. It's totally up to you. I just want to make sure he's going to stay on there, and it looks like we are good to go. So now, here's the thing. How are we going to finish it? Well, for this one, I think I would like it to be an average 7. So where's my bracelet cone at? Why is that bracelet cone always just, oh, there it is. I feel like this thing's constantly disappearing. But anyway, here we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add probably a toggle ending. Or you could just add a jump. You want to add something that's closed. It's better if it's a closed ring. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and add this ring. I'm going to see if there's a smaller one. I prefer kind of smaller ones. Let's see. This one is kind of smaller. It does fit in there. It's not like my favorite one. Let me see. Let me just see what we got in here. Well, I mean, I kind of, the smaller ones that I have are just kind of this style. So this is what we'll use. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and tie this on here. And I'm just going to do, it looks, we're basically doing the same knot. So 1, 2, okay. Oop. And I'm just going to pull this down into place. Now, you don't necessarily want it to be right up against your beads because I am going to go ahead and do the carousel back down. So I am going to go through there again, through the loop, and go 1, 2. This is just for stability. Now at this point, it's tied on there. It's not going anywhere. The rest of this is for just decoration, okay, to make it look nice. So I'm going to carousel, and it's going to be hard to see because I got this fox in the way. But I'm going to carousel down by just doing basically a half-hitch knot. Many of you have seen this before in other videos that I've done around this, and this just kind of makes it appear like it's supposed to look like that. Okay. Once we're done, we are going to hit these knots with some glue just for extra stability purposes. So I'm still carouseling. I want to carousel right up to the bead. So here's what it's looking like. I could probably go maybe one more. Okay. Looks pretty good. Now let's check this side over here. And this one, I kind of want to do one more carousel, but I don't know if I got enough length to do that. I think I do. So I'm just going to pull the knots down a little bit so they're not so squished up together before I put on the glue. So now I'm going to come in with my Loctite Super Glue Gel Control, and I'm going to put a little bit of glue on the knots itself, and then I also want to make sure that I'm putting a little bit of glue right where the string is coming out. You kind of got to be careful not to get on your beads, but I want to make sure that I got that string, because we're going to go ahead and we're going to cut that string off, and when we do, we don't want it to fray out, you know what I mean? So we're just going to let that dry. And then once it's done, we will, once it's done drying, it's got about 90 seconds or so, we will cut those off. So here we are with the bracelet all completed. This is what she looks like. Now this is a size, I want to say about a 7, 7 1/4. Yeah, just about a 7 1/4 inches. Maybe even, yeah, about 7, 7 1/4. So if that's too big, or you feel like maybe you'll have some small wrist people, here's the thing you can do. So my wrist is a size 6 1/4. So this is going to be about an inch too big for me, right? Okay, no worries. So you just take a look at it. right? So if we were to do like 6.5 inch, okay. So here's the thing you can do. You can get an extra jump ring. It doesn't matter what kind of jump ring it is. This is a round jump ring, an oval jump, whatever is going to fit on your clasp that you have used. Okay, and you're just going to add this jump ring about 1/2 inch in from your clasp. So maybe I'll put mine here. And this is going to make your knotted bracelet be able to have adjustable sizes. Sorry, I was having trouble getting a hold of it there. Okay, so let's see if that jump ring is large enough to get a hold of this guy. Okay, it is, and so I know you're thinking like, well, that's a little crazy. Just have a little faith, okay? So when I put this on, so if I were to put it on the regular size, it's gonna be like way too big, right? But you got this jump ring on here, you can hardly tell there's anything on there. And if you wanted, you could have put your you can move your fox onto there so it looks like it's supposed to be there. If you have a problem with this, you can put your fox. There she is. This is on the smaller setting. So see, everything kind of just looks like it's supposed to be there. Got your little fox and your little dangly bits, you know. And you also got your bracelet portion, which I really like, you know, and it's not too much dangly bits where it's in the way. I dig it. Dig it, dig it, dig. So that's the smaller size. And then you can also use the larger size, obviously. So I hope you guys are enjoying these videos. If you are, please let a girl know. Please do the like, subscribe to my channel. Come on over to the Facebook. We would love to have you. All those things can be found in the description of this video. And if you are looking for the Thunderhorse Descendant store, that is also in the description of the video. And don't forget to go and check out Softflex and give them a look-see. And maybe you want to get yourself one of these little cute little Foxy lady kits. Who knows? All right, you guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later.